The charity gala night at the Fairmont Grand Hotel exuded glamour with sparkling crystal chandeliers and gentle music echoing in the large space. Distinguished guests, businessmen, stars, and philanthropists, all dressed in gorgeous outfits, strode on the red carpet, ready to contribute to a noble goal, raising funds to support children. Hard. Besides the bustling conversations and camera flashes, in a hidden corner of the hall, Barron Trump sat quietly. 18 years old, tall with a calm demeanor, he chose a seat for himself away from attention. Barron, in a minimalist but elegant suit, attentively observed everyone. His eyes were not cold but filled with curiosity and contemplation, something rarely seen in young people from wealthy backgrounds. Everyone was so busy with conversation, the bustling sound of clinking glasses, and their own aura that few people paid attention to the young teenager sitting there. But Barron doesn't mind. You didn't come here to attract attention. Instead, he watched and listened to feel the true meaning of this event. Suddenly, amidst the laughter, Barron noticed an older man, somewhat timid, standing near the buffet area. The man wore an old but neat suit. His eyes shone shyly as he looked at the luxurious space around him. He did not join large groups or talk to anyone. It seemed he was someone who did not belong to this world. Barron frowned slightly. He picked up the glass of water, stood up and walked towards the man, his eyes never leaving his target. His heart suddenly felt an indescribable feeling, curiosity, appreciation, and a little sympathy. "Hello," Barron said, his voice low but warm. "You seem very uncomfortable. Can you help me?" The man turned around, his eyes slightly surprised. Obviously, he did not expect a young person, especially someone like Barron Trump, to approach him in a crowd of powerful figures. "Oh, hello," he replied, sounding a little awkward. "No, I was just thinking about how to start a conversation in a place like this. I'm not used to it." Barron smiled, politely and sincerely. "I think everyone here is trying to do good. I'm sure you have something meaningful to share." Barron's words were more than mere encouragement. They opened up a surprising moment of connection. But why is this man here, and what is his connection to this event? And then, the story that man shares will reveal unexpected things related to the Barron family's past. It is a story not only about kindness, but also a lesson about the power of understanding and human connection. Let's explore to the end of the story to see how this changed the event and everyone present. The atmosphere of the charity gala at the Fairmont Grand Hotel, which was warm with laughter and applause, gradually quieted down when the most anticipated character of the night, a famous journalist named Richard Hayes, stepped up. Stage. A familiar face in the media, Richard has built a name for himself thanks to his sharp commentary and ironic style of humor. Richard began his speech gently, attracting the audience's attention with humorous stories. Witty jokes about everyday events made the crowd laugh out loud. Laughter spread throughout the hall, creating the relaxing atmosphere that everyone was looking forward to. However, the atmosphere gradually changed when Richard turned to politics and Barron Trump's family. With a meaningful smile, he entered a topic that the audience did not expect. "Imagine," Richard said, his voice drawling with dramatic emphasis, "growing up in a golden tower, surrounded by shiny marble, while your father is tweeting about covfefe." Laughter initially still rang out in a few corners of the room, but then quickly died down when everyone realized the true target of the taunt. The hall fell into an awkward silence. A few people softly exchanged concerned looks while others tried to keep a calm expression. In a hidden corner of the hall, Barron Trump still sat silently, his eyes never leaving the speaker. Contrary to everyone's expectations, Barron did not show any emotions, not angry, not embarrassed, not upset. He just quietly observed, as if waiting to see where the story would lead. Richard, seemingly unaware of the change in the atmosphere, continued with a sarcastic smile. "And then, you grew up in a world where luxury was the norm, and you were taught that you could solve the problem. Decide everything with just one tweet." This time, the crowd did not laugh. A few people sitting near Barron began to shift uncomfortably in their seats, their eyes flickering over the teenager with concern. Barron still said nothing. He picked up the glass of water on the table, took a small sip, and put the glass down with slow movements. His calm appearance was a complete contrast to the tension spreading in the hall. At another table, Melania Trump, Barron's mother, was also present at the event. Her face showed a hint of displeasure, but she maintained a calm demeanor and did not react immediately. Her eyes glanced slightly at her son, as if wanting to check how he was feeling. As Richard continued his speech, the criticism gradually became less humorous and more personal. The hall was now emptied of laughter, leaving only a tense silence. Some people sighed softly. Others looked down at their desks, avoiding eye contact with anyone. Barron, however, remained calm. He slightly raised his head, looking at Richard with unusual determination. Not a word, not a gesture. But the young teenager's presence seemed to convey a message that he was not easily knocked down by taunts or negative attention. The silence lasted for a few more seconds before Richard realized the atmosphere had changed. He paused, his voice slower and his eyes confused. It seemed he himself realized that he had gone too far. But the story doesn't stop there. What will Barron do next? Will he choose to react to the taunts or stay silent as a powerful message? And how will this event lead to a surprising ending? Watch until the end to find out. Barron Trump stood on the main stage of a large auditorium where bright lights shone directly on him, highlighting his tall but calm figure. The discussion attracted a large number of journalists, scholars, and audiences from all over. They want to hear from Barron, not just because of his famous name, but also because of his journey and the fresh perspectives he has expressed over time. The discussion was going on heatedly when an older journalist with gray hair and sharp eyes slowly stood up from the crowd. His hand held a thick file of documents, as if he had carefully prepared for this moment. With a resounding and decisive voice, he asked, "Dear Mr. Trump, many people, including me, are skeptical about the authenticity of what you say. To me, he is just a product of the media and protection from a famous family. Do you think you are really qualified to discuss the complex issues we are facing today?" That question was like a knife, cutting through the already excited atmosphere. The auditorium fell silent. Only the soft breathing of those who were attentively watching could be heard. Some spectators turned to whisper, their eyes clearly showing curiosity mixed with suspicion. Tension permeated the space, as if everyone was waiting for a reaction that could ignite the fire of debate. But Barron did not appear to be deterred. He still sat still, quietly observing the person asking the question. His eyes lit up with a calm but sharp look, without any confusion or anger. After a few seconds of contemplation, he stood up and slowly walked towards the edge of the stage. Barron's every step echoed in the quiet space, making everyone not take their eyes off him. When standing in front of the microphone, Barron paused, his eyes scanning the crowd as if to connect with each person present. He took a deep breath. His deep and calm voice rang out. "Thank you for your question. I understand that each of us has the right to doubt, the right to question, and the right to judge. That's very natural. But today I want to tell you, and everyone here, behind every headline in the newspaper, is a person. And that person also has his own stories, traumas, and aspirations." Those words made the audience pause. The earlier whispers were now silent. Barron continued, his voice low, but every word he spoke seemed to be deeply engraved in the listener's mind. We live in an age where words can become powerful weapons. A sentence can lift a person up, help them move forward, or it can also push them down into the abyss of suffering. But I believe that if we take the time to listen instead of rushing to judge, we will not only find the truth from others, but also find the truth from ourselves. Barron paused for a moment, his eyes shining with sincerity as he looked straight at the journalist, who no longer maintained his original sharpness. In the quiet atmosphere, Barron's next words seemed to connect the seemingly strange people into a unified whole. Today, I am not standing here to argue about right and wrong, nor to protect my reputation or my family's. I stand here because I believe that mutual respect is the most important thing so we can build a better world, a world not divided by prejudices and heartless words. When Barron Trump finished his speech, the entire auditorium, which had been immersed in a tense atmosphere, suddenly exploded with thunderous applause. Faces that previously looked skeptical, even critical, now exuded admiration. The applause was not simply appreciation, but also recognition of Barron's maturity and bravery. Some of the audience, unable to control their emotions, stood up and joined in the applause, making the scene more touching than ever. The eyes that were once avoided now turned to Barron with a completely different respect. They not only heard his words, but also felt the power hidden in the calmness and sincerity he conveyed. After the discussion, excerpts from Barron's speech quickly spread on social media platforms. A video recording the moment he answered the journalist attracted millions of views in just a few hours. Barron's inspirational words became a hot topic of discussion, not only within the seminar, but globally. Viewers share their thoughts on language usage and the importance of composure in the face of criticism. Positive comments flooded in, from praise for Barron's maturity to reflections on the lessons he imparted. Many people praised Barron for turning a challenging situation into an opportunity to spread a meaningful message. The ripple effect continued as social leaders and experts praised Barron's speech. They call this a prime example of how to turn words into a tool to connect and build rather than destroy. A famous psychologist wrote that Barron Trump taught us a profound lesson. Composure is not weakness, but the greatest strength in the face of criticism. Positive feedback from public opinion made the elderly journalist who asked provocative questions rethink his actions. Just one day after the discussion, he publicly apologized through an article in a major newspaper. In the article, he admitted that he had overstepped his bounds by asking a question that was more of an attack than a discussion, and that Barron Trump's reaction made him realize that sometimes calm and understanding are needed. Understanding is the most powerful answer. He thanked Barron for giving him a valuable lesson, and that apology was received by public opinion as an act of courage. From this event, many profound lessons were drawn. Barron has proven that when faced with criticism or challenges, staying calm and using words tactfully not only helps solve the problem, but also builds trust and respect from others. Words can hurt or heal, and how they are used reflects not only one's values, but also one's character. Barron's actions not only changed the audience's perspective, but also made the journalist reflect on himself and correct his mistakes. What happened after the discussion showed that a small but meaningful action can create a ripple effect, positively affecting the way people treat each other. The discussion was not just a passing event, but became an important milestone in Barron Trump's journey. It helps affirm your position not based on your family's reputation, but on what you build yourself. More importantly, that story has inspired millions of people on how to live and behave in a volatile world. The image of Barron walking calmly after his speech, amidst the resounding applause of the auditorium, has become a symbol of a powerful message. Sometimes, calmness and compassion are powerful answers. For all criticism, thank you for taking the time to follow this inspiring story. If you feel the content brings value and meaning, please join us in spreading the message with small but meaningful actions. Click like to help this story reach more people. Share with friends and relatives to reflect together on the power of words, composure, and kindness. Subscribe to the channel to accompany our team on the journey to bring the most meaningful stories and content. Comment below the feelings, thoughts, or lessons that you like the most. We look forward to hearing from you. Each of your supports is not only a great source of motivation for us, but also contributes to spreading positive values, creating a better community. Sincerely, thank you for always accompanying.